if you're looking for some damage control, you should look to this movie.
Oh
no! I didn't dislike it. I enjoyed it.
Hello and welcome to Difference Reviews of Fantastic Beasts, if you can make it out. The Secrets of Dumbledore. Synopsis before we get any further. Dumbledore needs assistance to further take on the increasing power and malevolence of Grindelwald, and therefore assembles a little team of, well, the cast that is before you. Together, Oh, it's animated. Oh my god.
It's animated.
Sorry, it's animated. What was that? It's animated.
Yeah.
Together, they put a plan together to stop Grindelwald's newest scheme, becoming a bit of a Scooby-Doo, a villain of the week, but villain of the movie every time, but scheme of the week.
And each time with a different face.
But this one, hopefully, it sticks because it's the best one he's had so far. Not just for looks, but for performance as well. Hopefully,
sure, the script helps a lot of that on that degree.
So that is the basic synopsis of the crimes of... No, it isn't. The Secrets of Dumbledore.
You want to redo this?
To be fair, no, why? All right.
We're messing it up.
Well, you told me to one take wonder, so here we are.
All
one
right,
take wonders.
sorry.
All right, so that is the basic idea of the movie. Pauli, you may begin. What do you think of Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore?
Yeah, it's definitely not a movie that's geared towards the younger kids. This is one that's more on the somber tone, more. Personally. Well, I think the first one was more family friendly, which is what endeared me towards Fantastic Beasts in the first place. That it was very much a very simple story, but then sprinkled throughout, there's this bigger, more epic narrative that comes into play, which is only natural considering how this is a franchise that's going to continue another franchise that also built up and became, let's say, more dramatic and heavy and weighty. With each installment, this one you can definitely feel the Harry Potter 5 to 7 vibes in that sense. If you are a fan of that, you're gonna enjoy this because it's somber. They spend their time with the characters talking about their feelings, and it's also darker overall in the sense of lighting. It's a very dark looking movie.
Oh, that, yeah.
Sometimes I think David Yates does find good visuals, but oftentimes I think it gets a little murky and faded, so it's uneven in that sense, but oftentimes it's nice to see. But it's, as a casual fan, I was happy to see kind of wrap up the most important aspects of what the first two set up, because it feels like it ties a little bow to the first movie by the end of this one. So if you want to go in with that mindset of, okay, we're going to finish up some important things, then I think you're going to be satisfied. But if you want to have a bit more of a fun time, you're not going to be willing to sit through this the first time watching it. So maybe watch later, but if you're ready for something more heavy, something more dramatic, and if you like all the wizard stuff, if you like all the mythology and the different lore aspects, then you're going to have yourself a treat. I didn't pick up on those things. I kind of had to figure myself out as I watched it. Like, stuff happening in their minds, you know what I mean? Like, spells that they don't explain until later. And, oh, okay, I see what you mean. Oh, yeah. And if you're a fan of the movie Tony Erdmann, you're not going to be disappointed, because you're going to see Tony Erdmann himself make a cameo in a pretty fun sequence. So, Beast stuff, yeah, nice. New Scamander stuff, yeah, nice. Jacob, top notch. If it was just him, 10 out of 10. But, it's not. So, I'm going to stop talking now and let David begin his moment.
Third movie in a supposedly 5 of them is what we were told at the very beginning. As the movie ends, I feel like a 4th one is all it really needs to tie things up to a finale. I do not see really how 5 would happen unless the 4th one creates problems to be solved. But otherwise, it definitely can be done in 1 more. It does not need 5. That's just my opinion of the way story is being directed and pointed towards as of right now. Everyone does a fantastic job. Obviously, I'm not going to complain about actors and all that stuff. Our new Grindelwald is wonderful. Definitely the best we've had so far. I will take this time to say that despite the fact that I am happy for the role replacement because of an actor that I think betrays the character in the opinion that I find better and more entertaining for what I would want from the character, I did not agree with the way and why the previous one was removed.
Agreed.
That is not the way you should do it. It's a shitty thing to feel that I enjoy the new actor's portrayal better because it feels inappropriate to what the character that I feel should be like versus why it had to happen. So it is very unfortunate that it had to be this way. In the long run, for the general consensus and healthy thinking of Hollywood, I would prefer Johnny Depp keep the role, but I'm happy with the replacement that we've gotten, regardless of the very crappy circumstances to why it happened. Yeah. Apart from that, he definitely carried.
I was surprised. I was ready for you to go like full on like explosive rant moment. That's why I was like, I'm gonna wrap my stuff up first so we can go in, because I just heard him in the other room, being like, this, because he knows everything. Like there are a lot of things here that I like. What does that mean? Oh, that means that in the future. Oh, I see. And that means that in the future. Grindelwald has the Elder Wand. I noticed it now. Watching.
He's had it since the beginning. It's a thing where I think this movie does its best to wrap as much of things it's set up from the beginning, but there's very little left to truly end off, and what truly is left is the big thing. It was obviously Grindelwald himself, obviously, otherwise there would still be room for more, of course.
Yeah.
That's why I think one more movie would be enough. I believe that bringing back a few more other characters that, as you may have heard the rumors, or there's been confirmation that the character of Tina, sadly I do not remember
Catherine Waterston,
isn't very much prominent in this film, and that is correct. Does she appear? Yes. And is it used well? Yes. Yeah. But her absence is felt throughout the film.
It is.
Which is a shame, because you definitely want that. That is one of the things you would want in a proper conclusion, aka a fourth and final film. It would be disappointing not to have her there. It is just the truth. I think that Dumbledore, Jude Law, for me, like since the very beginning, something of course feels a little off when you have a new actor play a character that you've gotten used to, but that's just natural. But I believe definitely this one has solidified his presence and behavior of Dumbledore the most, by really feeling like the character at its youth. Truly.
Yeah, do you think he can stand up to par with Ewan McGregor and Alec Guinness? The young Obi-Wan, old Obi-Wan kind of thing.
That logic. I would say so far yes. I feel like, but obviously Dumbledore. I think so.
Yeah.
I feel
that
like
kind of degree.
I feel like it feels authentic. It feels nice. It feels proper.
Yeah.
The dialogue is of course written proper for him as well. It doesn't feel out of place or unknowing. It's
not distracting to me either.
Like benevolence feels like the wrong word, but if you'll allow me to combine words that make no sense, benevolent kindness. Like this, omnipresence of kindness. Maybe that's more appropriate.
And his relationship with Grindelwald is explained better in this movie.
Very much so, and very good they did, because it just needed to be said. It is just one of those things where in film the rule is show don't tell, but they most certainly did not show in the last one. They didn't truly show here, and I said, well, then you gotta tell. You gotta tell them.
And they told.
And then that's what's most important, ultimately, to get emotions. And of course, actors can carry scenes of tell, don't show as well. So
yeah, and I think the type of actors they have on board with this
can
know
do this right.
That we gotta show the depth ourselves a lot of the times, because it's not really there in the text.
Personally, at the finale of the film, without spoiling much, I could see in Grindelwald's face almost the tear that almost was trying to escape out of him before, let's say, all the other emotions and stuff, which I found very powerful for the character, which there's nothing to do against actors. I feel like if Johnny would have been given that direction, he definitely could have done it. Oh, yeah. But of course the question is how much of that is given from the actor, how much of that is given from the director or even the script. But it was something of a nice nuance, and ultimately the person still doing the activity is the actor. So that's why I give credit, because again, ultimately that's still the person that's supposed to portray it. If you feel it from them, then they've done their job right.
Yeah, if you have a good scene partner, that's going to help.
It helps. And between Dumbledore and Grindelwald, this movie has definitely made the relationship feel the strongest and the most fantastic in that way, where I believe the love that was once there that now has turned into a bitter sadness, and that's a very touching thing in a very tragic way. I think this movie has definitely made me just realize for the first time is that a lot of the Harry Potter world, in an interesting way, has had a lot of emphasis on true love, which hasn't been very obvious. But I think after this movie, in a few different areas, and a few different characters, in a few different ways, and of course with the previous films having, let's say, Severus's attachment to Lily, this I think...
Severus.
I think I think pushed it forward for me, and this idea that I think is very nice, because the idea of true love, I think, is considered by many people not a real thing, but that's what technically makes it, well, magical.
And they told me the old Voldemort thing, the reason why he's evil is because
he was created, his mother basically love potioned the father. So
like you saw in the second movie out of these.
So basically, a child, in the lore, if someone is conceived or created because of magical form of fake love, the child themselves will not feel love, because they were not made from love. It's very poetic. It's
a tough price to pay, but
right?
I get it.
And
it's not real love, so therefore,
for the child can never understand real love.
Yeah.
And overall, this movie, does it have flaws? Of course it does. Do I think that it does a good job of wrapping a lot of things up, and it has set itself up for a nice clean sweep finale, and that I do hope it gets. Again, Kowalski a standout, of course. Grindelwald a standout. Dumbledore a standout for me as well. They three are probably the golden trio for me that really put the ensemble properly. Newt, of course, is great. He's always is. He's the character. Like it's.
I mean, he's still endearing. He still does his thing, and he's still important to the story, because the beast aspect is actually pivotal to what happens here, and I think that they have a good role to play, and you still explore magical beings, and you do. So new aspects of the world are seen. Not as much as you would like to, but there is a possibility to do more of that, like Himalaya, for example. You get to see that, which is nice.
It's true. To that point, I'd like to just tell people this one piece of just advice or just perspective. The same way the Harry Potter movies are called Harry Potter and the blah blah blah, fill in here. This is the same equivalent of Fantastic Beasts. Instead of Fantastic Beasts, imagine it just said Newt Scamander. Instead of Harry Potter, it said The Boy Who Lived. It's the idea of the character or the being or the mythology almost of the character, and it is about the character earning an adventure. The first Fantastic Beasts deal with Newt, this eager major zoologist that wants to show the world that magic creatures aren't dangerous, and by the end, has his book ready to be written, and we see that in the second film. In the first film, he accidentally falls into this conspiracy to get rid of Tina that was already following it in this whole bigger story of Grindelwald, and gets himself inadvertently attached to it. By the second one, he gets asked, if not forced by Dumbledore a bit, to join, and he agrees, but ultimately sees the good in what they're doing and decides to join in by choice. And when Dumbledore comes a knocking the third time around, he of course does it, and even ends the film telling him that if things call for him again, he'll be ready to answer the call. And I think that's something people forget. I get the idea of you want to see Fantastic Beasts, and that tag name is stuck in your head and it bothers you. I get it. But I also understand that there is that movie. Does it really fit with the idea of what Fantastic Beasts should be? No. How would you do a sequel to Fantastic Beasts when the title of the book is him exploring so many creatures? The first film doesn't even technically do that. So if you're going to be mad at the name in all perspectives. Just saying. If you're going to want to get upset about it in all the ways, not just in the way you choose to get upset.
Yeah.
If you're going to be angry about all of it, not just what you choose to be angry about. It's just
it's stuck now. So now I think
it is stuck now.
I think of this,
the same way when you think Harry Potter, you should think of those 8 films or 7 books, and when you think of Fantastic Beasts, you should think of that fun little book that she wrote about magical creatures and these films, hopefully. And
because I don't know about how much the Wizarding World name idea has really stuck on people's minds. I noticed that it said so at the beginning.
It's beginning more of a thing. It started getting a few traction a couple of years ago. I want to say maybe 5.
If the next movie would have that, then definitely,
and of course, I'm a big believer that this world has complete potential to do a one-off film, even a quick trilogy or something, and then move on, or even a show. And I think this is that test run to see how much people still care about the Wizarding World, despite, real quickly, what you feel about the creator of it.
Despite all the controversy surrounding
I think you need
to
learn to let go of some of that hatred in a way, because then you kind of aren't any better than her in a weird way. I think that's the best way I can put it. If you don't learn to let go of some of that, then you're not any better than her. I don't know.
I mean, if you care about the world, if you care about the property, I mean, from what I understand, isn't a lot of stuff that contradicts itself in the sense of
very little
retconning. It's very little, you say.
For example, someone like Nagini, that was a big prominent character in the second one, or being set up to, is missing. In this one, I remember thinking about it the whole time through, and after the movie ended, I mentioned it, and my fellow friends went, "Oh yeah."
No mention of that character.
It is how it is. A lot of story that we've already echoed through in the books and other stuff is represented here, which is appropriate. It should be. Which is nice. Some confirmation about the Dumbledore family in a few different aspects. You know, I guess I personally believe it does live up to the Secrets title. I heard that I'm sure people on the internet disagree, but I disagree with them. That it very much does reveal a lot of secrets of.
I guess it does.
Dumbledore family.
I didn't know about his brother.
You know, so. So
I didn't. I didn't. I have. What was this old man who showed up in one scene in one movie?
2 scenes.
Oh. So I don't remember.
No, it's fair. It's weird for the books too. So hey, everyone complains about a random Credence Dumbledore reveal, and people forget the books just being like, oh yeah, and this is his brother. Oh, so again,
same logic, I guess.
If you wanna be mad at all the aspects. I'm just pointing it out. This is pretty on par for the Dumbledore family.
But Dumbledore is a very important character, so I do completely understand why you want to cover his story. If it was to deal with such important aspects of the whole wizarding world, wanting to fight the Muggles, and which is why it's so great that Jacob is there as our representation for our cause. You know what I mean? And this humble man gets to be part of the adventure. That was still one of the best aspects of this whole thing, and to that I really applaud the fact that finally happened, because I wanted that to happen.
I agree.
For a long time, and that's why you did it, and you just also a different character, and he and blah blah blah. It's great. So if you look at it from that point of view, I still like that, and you just got to be ready that this is gonna be one of those movies that it's gonna take us seriously, and it's gonna respect, I suppose, the established mythology. And if you are a fan, you're probably gonna like that, outside from controversy, because it sticks to that. You know what I mean? So,
all right, we've been prattling on. I think we've covered honestly all the big bases. Would you like to give a score, as we do with them too?
10 Jacobs out of 10 Jacobs, and 5 Grindelwalds out of 5 Grindelwalds.
That's reasonable.
6.5 Newts out of 6.5 Newts.
Oh.
And 20 out of 20 Tony Erdmann's. You didn't see him die, so he could come back. Spin-off, please. Tony Erdmann, spin-off. The Keeper of the Dungeon of the Scorpion Creature.
Oh!
Yeah, that's Tony Erdmann.
Okay.
The Oscar-winning
international
feature movie. Please bring him back.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Ezra Miller went full Kylo Ren.
I guess.
But we didn't take his shirt off though, so that's the one thing that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't mention him. Do you want to say something about him?
I think the media's saying enough.
Okay.
I guess I'd leave this one off with I hate grading systems, because I think that's baloney.
But is why I give a fake one.
If I had to give you a real one, I would say maybe, I don't know, degrees of my personal enjoyment of an opinion I have of it, because that's all it really is, an opinion. I would give it maybe a 8.
Yeah, sure. Objectively, it still has a lot of good
9
things.
It's not a 10. There's things that should be better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I think are found to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching this extended discussion on this franchise.
Was it that extended?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's unscripted.
That's how it works.
We're a mess.
Well, we'll see you guys next time. That'll be great.
Thumbnail pose.
Oh.
The scarf is on my arm. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the camera now, but say something else before.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, who's that?
Oh, cameo.